Hi guys, I was muted. Some bitch. I was still before time though. Hi guys, hope you're well. It's a day. All you missed was me telling you that I've had a good day. See, that's the gods not wanting me to get my word out there about a good day. Yeah, had a very good day today. Hope you guys did too. It started rough. Be honest with you guys, I've not been myself. Probably the last 3 days. I've tried. I hope it's come off okay. But yeah, I just have not been myself, and finally feeling back to normal. Cryptic, thank you. Uh, Audio is missing like Biden's brain. I appreciate that. And before the show, thank you so much, Twisted Skipster, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. One of these days I'm gonna do the mute thing on purpose, just for the shits and grins. That way I can say, hey. Sometimes it's on purpose, and I'll have Jack here with me so he can back that up. But no, I was just I forgot that I'd muted it. Um, yeah, I had a really good day with the latter half of it, and I feel myself again. I'm feeling normal. I'm feeling fired up because ooh, you guys, I've just gotten used to stupid. You've heard me fired up lately, but it's always on things that are angering, things that don't make any logical sense yet are still happening, and nobody seems to be questioning it, or at least nobody that can change anything about it is questioning it. And oh my dear God, there was one today from CNN that we're going to get to in a minute that it kind of broke me a little bit. I'm still screaming inside, and I may raise my voice a little bit during this stream. Just a headphone warning for those of you who are listening on headphones, because the story they put out today was, it is among the most god awful things I've ever read. And it's all in the name of being an ally, of allyship, and standing with the LGBT. Not even in this country, in Uganda. And oh my God. Ugh. But before we get to that, I do want to tell you, for the next couple of days, I got family stuff going on. The stream hopefully will be a lot earlier than you're used to. Hopefully in the 10 o'clock time zone. Got some visitors coming, so Monkey will be even happier than normal. Yeah, that's a show thing. I'm not sure how the game streaming is going to go with all of that. Those might have to be put on the back burner for this weekend. Is this Labor Day weekend? Is that what the big deal is this weekend? I know something's coming up. I just never pay attention to calendars, which is why I usually miss things like doctor's appointments. But no, right now everything looked good. They checked my blood pressure today. When I went to my doctor 2 weeks ago, or whenever that was, 3 weeks ago, whatever. My blood pressure was ridiculously high again. And we go in here today, and I am feeling my whole body, and I'm like, oh God, they're gonna freak out because my blood pressure is gonna be fucking high. And so they check my blood pressure, and it's a little bit elevated. I'm like, oh shit. And she goes, don't worry, the doctor, he'll come in, he'll do it again. And it's usually lower when he does it because, well, he's a trained cardiologist. And sure enough, he took my blood pressure and it was normal. And like, there's no fucking way. I, are you really doing this job? Snubber, thank you. Allies in war not equal in peace. Um, yeah, should we just get to that article? Get me pissed off right at the beginning. Starfield early access starts tomorrow. Indeed, it does. I am 85% downloaded, I think it is. I had to stop it to do the show. Speaking of big things tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow. Mr. Medicare is going to have a new stream. Medicare, for those of you who are fans, he's not doing well, and worse than normal. He's had heart attacks, and now he's got his spine is basically breaking down, and he's got to raise money. He's got to be able to handicap his house. He's got to get walk forward. So if you can, check him out and support him if you are so inclined. But he's supposed to be doing one. I think it's sometime this weekend. I want to say it's tomorrow. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah, it's sad. I'm a fan of Medicare. I really am. I think the guy's funny as hell. And it's a damn shame what's happening to him when there's so many other people who deserve it. And I mean that sincerely. There are many people who fucking deserve what he's going through and will never have to experience it. And that's just the shit part of life, to be honest. Snubber, thank you. Surprised after being space for it. Oh, dude, I have a lot of space on my computer. Remember, for BG3, I bought a new SSD. It's just a 1T, but it's plenty of space still left on that. That one, before I started the download, had over, what, 750 left on it. Anyway, Cryptic, thank you. I've been angry a lot for the last few months. All I can say is I blame The Hobbit because her French Canadian ass is trying to get me to play Phasmo again. You should play Phasmo, man. It's a lot of fun. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to play with her the other day. We were filled up, but hopefully she'll catch the next round when we do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get Monkey pissed off. We're going to start with a tweet. We're going to look at the tweet that CNN put out about this fucking article that we're going to read. And it's infuriating when you read the whole thing. Now, unfortunately, there's a reader's note on here. So if you read ahead, you're going to know what's going on. But don't read ahead. They tweeted out 2 men in Uganda are facing separate charges of aggravated homosexuality, an offense punishable by death under the country's controversial new anti-gay laws. All right, we're gonna get that off screen so you guys can't read ahead. Yeah, the way they tell it, the way that headline, like, oh, 2 guys were charged with being gay, and they could be put to death over you guys. Can you believe it? Look how horrible they're being to the gay guys over in Uganda. If that's all you read, that might be what you take from it. That might be all you take from it, because that's how it sounds. Like 2 guys were caught being gay. They even kind of make it sound like together. And they aggravated homosexuality. They're going to go to jail for it. They could face death. Oh, great. Don't get ahead of the story. Don't get ahead of the story. So let's pull up the actual CNN article. This is fucking disgusting. 2 Uganda men may face death penalty after aggravated homosexuality charge. 2 men in Uganda are facing separate charges of aggravated homosexuality, an offense punishable by death under the country's controversial new anti-gay laws. Exactly what the tweet said. 3 times now we've seen that without any explanation of why these guys are being charged. Just they're getting the gays, you guys. A 20-year-old man in the district of Soroti, I don't know how to say, in eastern Uganda, was charged on August 18th after he allegedly performed unlawful sexual intercourse with one man aged 41 with a disability. He took advantage of a disabled man. He raped a guy, you fucking assholes. Aggravated homosexuality, according to the much criticized act. Listen, this is criticized. Oh, fuck. Thank God Jack's here. Maybe he can help temper my anger on this one. What's up, Jack?
How's it going? You angry? What's going on?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. We're reading the CNN article about those 2 guys in Uganda. I don't know if you read this.
Yes, I did. I was a little hesitant to throw this in because it's really fucked up.
Now we have to, because this is part of their bullshit agenda.
Yep.
Now listen, guys, we've just heard that the first guy, we haven't even got to the second guy, Jack, just the first guy, he took advantage of a disabled person. He raped a disabled guy.
Yep.
Now they're about to describe what they called the much criticized act. Thank you, Keldrig. Fucking asshole is precisely the problem here. Dude, wait. It gets worse. I promise you it does.
It does. It absolutely does get worse.
This is the law. This is what they're talking. This is aggravated homosexuality, the much criticized act. It involves incest, sex with children, as well as people with disabilities or the elderly. Anybody have a problem with a law against incest, raping children, or disabled or elderly folks?
Well, I mean, maybe Californians.
And we're supposed to pretend that that's, oh my God, those damn Ugandans, they hate the gays. That doesn't say gay is illegal. That says you can't be gay with a relative or with a child or with the disabled or with the elderly. This is a protection act. The act, signed in law in May, also outlaws gay marriage in Uganda, and it punishes same-sex acts with life imprisonment. That's other parts of it. The aggravated part, the part we're talking about right here, is what's important. That's what these two guys were charged with. It's been decades since Uganda last carried out an execution, but its longest president, whoever, has threatened in 2018 to resume state assent for capital punishment. Attorney Justine I don't give a fuck, who's representing the 20-year-old man, told CNN that the penalty associated with the law are entirely out of proportion. Your client raped a disabled guy. I don't give a fuck about him at all.
No, not at all. I mean, you're a fucking monster.
Of course, the way that the law is being enforced this way is entirely. I wonder, is it okay for a heterosexual guy to rape a disabled person?
It depends. Are they a Trump supporter?
Remember, this is Uganda, so probably. We're going to skip ahead a little bit because they finally get down to the other guy. How many paragraphs does this take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th paragraph, they finally get to the other person.
Real quick.
After a couple of pictures. Go ahead.
Thank you, Cryptic. Remember when CNN was moving back to center and journalism? Yeah, that lasted less than a year. This shit is why I believe no news outlet. Yeah, well, you should always have some healthy amount of skepticism when you're reading a news article these days. But this type of shit is beyond the pale.
All right, here's the other one. Beyond the pale. I don't even know if that quite describes it, Jack.
No, I don't think I have enough words to describe my visceral anger about this entire thing.
Another man was charged with aggravated homosexuality last month in Jinja district in eastern Uganda for allegedly performing a sexual act with a child aged 12 of the same sex. He raped a kid. This is
Why
what
is there so much of a push to accept kid rapers?
This is what CNN is bitching about. That, oh my God, these guys face life in jail or even the death penalty. This is what they're standing up for. Oh, we got to be allies. No, we don't. Not with fucking kitty diddlers. You're two guys here, and notice there was nothing in that headline, nothing in the first or in the post or in the sub headline, the first paragraph. None of it talking about. Oh, by the way, one of them raped a disabled guy. The other one raped a 12-year-old. None of that. No, we have to hear about how bad the law is first because it outlaws incest and kitty rape.
Well, I mean, like I said, Californians, dude.
What the fuckity fuck is going on in this world?
Pedophile communists run everything.
Jesus Christ, man. When I read this, I was fucking hopping mad, and I'm starting to get there again. This is what I was talking about a little bit earlier ago. Not much surprises me anymore. But when I find something like this, they are literally defending a fucking pedophile. They're worried that a pedophile is going to jail for raping a child. The horror. He's gay, don't you know? Aggravated gayness shouldn't be an issue. He raped a child, you fuck.
I mean, that'd be a misdemeanor in California. I'm sorry, I have no faith in any of these modern leftists to do the right thing anymore. They are fine with children cutting off their genitals, sterilizing themselves, and they have no problem with children consenting. It's disgusting. And if people don't start pushing back, the shit's getting a lot worse.
Both men are under remand and will appear in court in September. The next part of this article, and actually the rest of this article, talks about how horrible this bill is. You know what? You might have been able to find somebody where it's just two gay guys were being gay and they got persecuted for it. That's not what happened here.
Not at all.
Two guys to say, look how bad this law is. You just made me want that law here, for fuck's sake.
Oh, fuck yeah. And this is Uganda. They're lucky they didn't take these guys out back and shoot them in the head.
Global condemnation. That's the next fucking line. They just talk about how this guy raped a child, a 12-year-old. And their next thing is global condemnation. Not for raping the 12-year-old. No, 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 no. For the law that makes it illegal. That's what they're
It's
for.
what Germany, the Muslims, and a bunch of American celebrities are upset by this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of people upset by this. Look, because it does have like they outlawed gay marriage. That's what was the big thing when this law passed a few months back.
Yeah,
Like, oh my God, they got rid of gay marriage.
it's
I don't
Uganda.
care.
They have
Yeah,
what,
it's
like 10 gay people in the whole country? It's
hopefully
not
they'll
like their
have two less
population's
soon.
huge.
Um, let's see. President Joe Biden described the law as a tragic violation of universal human rights.
Oh,
Our
fuck off.
president, you guys. A tragic violation of universal. That kid getting raped is a tragic violation of universal human rights. You cunt. How can they be like this?
Because they're degenerates and they're used to their degeneracy being accepted. So why not push the boundaries a little more? See how far they can push that over to the window.
The U.S. also announced visa restriction for Ugandan officials, but did not name those affected. We punished Uganda for this law. You know, CNN, if you wanted to tell this story, you could have left the two guys out. Just say you hate the law because it has the anti-gay marriage thing in it. Okay. Fine. You have your own opinion. I don't care. But that you chose to use two sexual abusers, fucking criminal sexual perverts, as your martyrs in this goddamn story. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look at who
Let,
their heroes are, dude.
let's
Mike
see. This
Brown,
was
George Floyd. List goes
written
on, man.
by Bethlehem Fleck, David McKenzie, and Nimi Prince Will. You're all fucking perverts, and I think your hard drives need searched.
Well, they might get jobs at the FBI then, because
Probably. Oh my God, man. Their two examples are rapists. For fuck's sake. I'm heading to bed and plan to pray for all of us. This is not what I want to go to sleep with. The US media is lost, as is our government. I don't disagree with you. Just a reminder to everybody, if you donate and you leave a message, please do so in caps. That's not a joke. I'm having trouble reading right now with my eye. So if you can, please. I appreciate all of them. Don't get me wrong. If you forget, no big deal. But if you can, please, please do it in caps. You know what? This is a good time to remind people: like, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Not for CNN, but for fuck CNN. Give a thumbs up to fuck CNN.
yeah, pretend it's a middle finger.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Chaos One X. They're literally protecting a pedo. JoJo? Oh, you mean Weinstein? Or was it Spacey? I'm sure there are others. Yeah, well, they seem to protect a lot of those type of people.
They're two examples, Jack. They could have picked anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is probably the best examples they could get.
A pedophile and somebody who abused a disabled person. And notice they don't tell us how disabled they are. Disabled. Maybe he just had a weak leg and he was actually gay and into it. Well, chances are, if he's disabled and that guy got charged, it had nothing to do with that guy being into it.
Yeah, it's probably some wheelchair bound person that couldn't fight back. Like cerebral palsy.
And notice that bait and switch that they did. They tell us what aggravated homosexuality is, and then they go, there's part of the law that says gay marriage. Yeah. But the aggravated part is what they were charged with. And the charges fit what that is. And I have no problem with the aggravated homosexuality part of that law. None at all.
And why are we interfering with another culture? Isn't that cultural appropriation or colonization or some shit? We gotta tell them how they can live, but they can't tell us. That seems a bit hypocritical.
Thank you, JB. That's very, very generous. Half to Jack. Yeah, these people are insane. They're going to get actual kids hurt. These were, I mean, there was one here. And screw YouTube for not letting me say what I want. They can't step on a Lego, or they can step on a Lego in hell. Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. How did an editor approve this? How did nobody look at this and go, guys, this is probably not a good example? I mean, honestly, it sounds like a good reason for the law. No shit. Cryptic, thank you. When I read that story, the real story, it made me pissed off. Sometimes I wish I was a normie again. Ignorant. Ignorance would be bliss. Yes. There's a reason they say ignorance is bliss, and it's because of shit like we deal with on this show.
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable to talk about some of this depravity that's going on in our world, and people would rather ignore it and bury their head in the sand, and you just can't do that.
But yeah, honestly, sounds like a good reason for the law. Let's just read that part again. Aggravated homosexuality, according to the much criticized act. The much criticized act. Why would you even put that in there? Why wouldn't you just say according to the act here? So the much criticized act involves incest, sex with children, as well as people with disabilities or the elderly. People who are taken advantage of a lot by perverts. I mean, we have laws in this country that protect all of those groups for that very reason. The act signed into law may also outlaws gay marriage, but the act and this part of the act are two different things. It's like when we have bills passed here, Jack. There's many pieces to it. Like the infrastructure bill wasn't just about roads. It was also dumbasses charging stations everywhere and the internet for people like me who will never see it because they're just going to take it and make better internet for people who already have it.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff that goes into it. If you don't like parts of it, write your story about those parts and go, hey, there are parts of it that we think are good. This is the degeneracy we're dealing with in this world right now.
That's
this is
how
CNN.
Far down we've gone.
Yeah, this is CNN. This isn't some fringe left-wing pink news bullshit. This is CNN doing this. And as little respect as I have for them, I didn't realize it could go fucking lower.
Oh, the bottom is never really the bottom.
I would take all of their lies over them standing up for somebody who raped a 12-year-old boy. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I don't even know what else to say about this shit. It's just fucking irritating.
I have something here. Thank you, Keldrig. They're afraid they'll be next. Maybe, but I have no problem with pedos being filtered out of society. I really don't.
None.
I don't understand why there's so much support for this shit now. It's disgusting, especially forced rape on not only a minor, but a disabled person. You're finding some sick way to justify that. These are your heroes? That tells me all I need to know about your fucking disgusting satanic movement. These people are evil.
They are, yeah. But they're gay, Jack. They're magical beings who can do no wrong.
Apparently.
You know, AP said last night, and we've mentioned it many times, that a big problem with the LGBT community right now is that they won't police their own.
Yeah.
You're starting to see more of it. You have groups like Gays Against Groomers, but even they are maligned in a large portion of the LGBT because how dare they make any pedophiles look bad?
Right.
But yeah, this is another thing. I mean, they should be resoundingly discredited for this fucking article. They should be shamed for this fucking article.
Yeah. If I was an editor and this came across my desk, I would see to it these people were fired.
Oh, hell yeah.
Massive liability.
And it took 3 people to write that. 3 people to write a story promoting a degenerate who raped a child and another degenerate who raped a disabled person. I guess they were like, hey, how can we make this sound better? I know. Throw the word gay marriage in there. Look, not everything on the gay agenda is okay. Equal rights, I'm cool with, Jack. But equal rights comes with equal responsibilities. That means you don't get to have your willy out in public because it's a parade.
Yeah.
No, you're being indecent. You go to jail for that.
Yeah, well, they opened the door and everything walked through because now, oh, well, you have to accept every disgusting thing I do. No, that's not how that works. We don't have to accept your weird fetishes or your kid diddling. No, that's not how that works. You want to have a consensual relationship with somebody of the same sex? Nobody fucking cares. But people have a problem with you touching kids or forcing people or having sex with animals and all the other weird shit, peeing on each other in the street. No, fuck you. That's gross and weird. Stop trying to make your kink into a sexuality.
Yeah, because it's not. It's you're just sharing your degenerate kink.
Yeah, you're just a weirdo.
Oh damn. I should never get into an abortion debate right before the show. It throws my timeline way off. Speaking of what we've done to society, man. We have a video to watch, and I apologize in advance for it. I'm about to get him into anger here, Jack.
Uh-oh.
We've talked before about the damage that's been done to boys in society, and I've tried bringing up, and it's been more recent, but the damage that's also being done to girls. Yeah, there's a lot of advantages for girls. You know, they're pushing them into education and getting better education and careers and blah. If you could see me right now, I'm doing the jerk off motion.
Yeah.
But a lot of what they've done to girls is just fucking destroy who they are. And this video is angering.
Does it feature Stunning and Brave Leah Thomas?
No.
A real woman.
Have you not seen this?
I'm looking away from the screen right now. Oh, no, I have not seen this, I don't think.
Okay. Just listen.
Where I went to bed wishing that I would wake up with breast cancer so that I could get a mastectomy and have a flat chest.
What?
There was a time in my life where I went to bed at night wishing I had cancer so I could get a mastectomy to have a flat chest.
Crazy person says what?
This is the first time that I've ever heard somebody say that out loud. But oh my god, that is so real. That is so relatable. So relatable. Back before I knew I was trans and knew why I felt the way that I did about my body, I used to think that all the time. I used to wish that all the time. And
that's really fucked up. You need mental health.
This is what we've done to some of these girls. Made them fucking wish for cancer.
Yeah, specifically titty cancer, because what the hell, man?
What is this? It's like the third or fifth leading cause of death in women, and I need titty cancer, so my boobies are taken off.
That's so messed up. Also, the voice on that person, they're coming right for us.
Right.
You don't sound like a man. You sound like somebody doing an impersonation of a man. I would assume you're a reptilian.
And it seems like such a terrible thing to wish.
Because it is.
Yeah.
It's an insane thing to wish.
You need a therapist.
Snubber, thank you. What's funny is someone pointed out recently, trans women have higher suicides than trans women. Guess that part of being male is transferable. I've not actually seen the suicide rates. Everything I ever see is the ideation rates. So I'm not sure on that, but I get the joke there. Anyway, I want to get to the end of this because it really fucking annoyed me. There's nothing more to it. They just keep talking about how they want it's the fucking end. You'll hear it.
And it is such a terrible thing to wish, but that is so real. That is so real. I didn't understand why I felt uncomfortable in my body. I didn't understand why I wanted my chest gone.
Sorry, there was a donation that came through and wanted to make sure we hear this. I'll get that in 1 second. Thank you, Cass1.
My chest gone. I just knew that I did. And I knew that that was a way that could be achieved. Big mood. Big mood.
Big mood.
What does that mean?
Big mood. I'm feeling that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what that is. I feel that. That's big mood.
I was thinking
That's
giant mood rings. I don't know. Mold. This is weird and disgusting, and this person should seek mental help because they are probably in desperate need of a therapist.
Thank you, Cast One, who says, "You're such a tease, monkey, just telling us you're doing a jerk-off motion. I'm an extreme individualist, and somehow these people make me want to scream about the benefits of conformity. Hashtag bring back bullying." Thank you so much for the donation. Well, I would show you, but I don't have a cam.
Oh,
Anyhow.
Let me grab a couple things.
Oh,
here.
please do. Yeah.
Thank you, Chaos1X. The most infuriating thing to me is that if you try to criticize any of this or how in your face they are about everything, they just start bitching about how heteronormativity is forced into everything. Makes me want to scream. Well, they always accuse you of what they're doing. Look at every form of media right now and how much they're jamming everything in. Everything has to have something gay. Also, thank you, Cryptic. Did you see the video of the guy who got his junk cut off and turned into a vag? No transition at all. Still had a full beard and never took hormones. It's literally a dude with a vag. I did see that, and it was kind of creepy.
That's literally a dude with a hole where his penis used to be.
Yeah. That's kind of fucked up.
This video, and I asked this on Twitter, so I'm gonna ask you, Jack. This shows a mental problem. Can we finally admit that this is a fucking mental problem? Wishing for cancer is not normal in any way, shape, or form.
No, that's really unhealthy. That's a really unhealthy thing to be thinking. You are obviously needing mental attention from a therapist, and you're probably having some sort of suicidal ideation.
You need to be in an asylum.
Yeah, you need to be under inpatient therapy.
Snubber, thank you. It's easier to get surgeries now more than ever, and instead of that, no, we want cancer. Yeah, indeed.
It's fucked up.
This is what we've done to girls.
Yeah. It's not going to get any better. And now boys are trying to be girls. I'm very confused. We live in dark times. And this really came on very quickly. But thank you, Frosted Glass. Since my corner co-host, Moonshock, who had to get surgery and chemotherapy so breast cancer won't kill him, isn't here, I'll take the liberty of saying these people can go Uganda and get fucked. Yeah, I mean, Uganda is a very lovely place.
Who was that?
Frosted.
Thank you. I did not want to speak for Moon. I just imagine what Moon might have thought if he saw that. Moonshot from our audience is a male survivor of breast cancer, and I can't imagine the hatred that would go through him hearing somebody wishing for it because they actually need deep therapy.
Yeah. These people clearly have no idea what cancer looks like, and it's enraging to me that they make a joke out of everything. They have no life experience. They don't know what they're talking about, and they assume they know everything. It's a deeply disturbing way to run a society because these idiots are listened to.
Cast One, thank you. You used to have to go to war to get a hole there. Yeah, no shit. These days, just go to a doctor; they'll chop it off for you. And I'm just so annoyed at this shit because we had this whole push, and this was wrong for so many reasons, but where women had to be proud of everything. Yeah. Even their periods. Periods are empowering. No, they're not. They're gross and nobody likes them. So what happens, Jag, when a girl gets her first period and she doesn't find it empowering?
She's going to feel uncomfortable.
It's going to feel worse than it would if she was told, hey, this is going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be gross. You have to deal with it for the next 40, 50 years of your life. Kind of get used to it the best way you can. Keep stuff on hand in case it happens. No, it's empowering. Remember that one swimmer? She swam with her period. Girl power. What about the body positivity where you should love your body? Well, if I don't, it must be something wrong with my body. There are consequences other than just creating more fat fucks. But who gives a shit about that stuff? We have to bullshit people. Most girls who Boys, you guys might not understand this because some of you probably had some bad acne. My puberty was very, very easy, Jack. My dick got bigger. I got hair. That's it, and hornier, of course, because that happens. But that was my puberty. Women have to deal with hormones and bleeding and just all kinds of changes to themselves. Their bodies becoming sexual, getting boobs, and everybody staring at them and giving them attention that they don't want when they feel the ugliest they ever have in their life.
Yeah, and they got to relearn how to run if they have big boobs because they flop everywhere.
And instead of telling them what's really going to happen, we're lying to them. Like, oh, you're girl power, girl boss. No, you're going to hate it. You're going to fucking hate it. And it's normal too. It's actually normal to hate that period because you girls go through so much.
And and that's not even mentioning social pressures and conformity and trying to fit in with everybody else. All the nonsense that goes along with that.
Yeah, so we have just destroyed boys and girls in this country. We've just absolutely fucking destroyed them. And we need to stop doing it. I don't know any other way to say it. We just need to stop doing it.
Well, it's not going to change until people put their foot down, and that's not happening.
No.
And now they're so entrenched in power with this nonsense, it's going to be even more difficult to get it out.
I'm not exactly sure what this is from. I didn't look into it. I just found it disgusting, so we're going to talk about it. Speaking of, it's on topic. This is a picture taken for reasons I can't explain. I know some of these people, like Rosie O'Donnell's on the back right, the second one over. Of course, on the couch, you have lying Taylor Lorenz, that ugly bitch, Kathy Griffin, the guy in the pink dress there, Dylan Mulvaney. And I don't know who the Asian person with obviously fake titties is there. But what is it? What is this?
A meeting of ugly people.
By the way, Taylor Lorenz, just a couple weeks ago, was bitching that people weren't wearing masks because she has long COVID. But apparently it's okay to go maskless if you're a guy in a pink dress pretending to be a girl for clout.
He won an award, the Streamy Award.
The Streamies, yes. Breakout streamer or breakout I don't know.
Stunning
Breakout
brave.
dude with a penis pretending to be a girl doing the worst stereotypes of being a girl.
Yeah.
But hey, got rich off of it. Got very wealthy off of it. Yep. Ladies, don't go OnlyFans, go trans. Pay the bills. I just came across again last night. It's been a while since I'd seen it. But when everybody got mad because that girl was pretending to be a trans man or trans woman, she kept putting like little dildos in her panties. And it was actually a girl. I'm like, how dare this woman take away from the trans community? Oh, you can pretend to be a girl, but she can't pretend to be a guy pretending to be a girl. That's fucking amazing.
Wasn't there a movie like that?
Was there?
I think there was.
That I don't know, but this chick, she got like 87,000 clicks on one video, and people were pissed. They were pissed.
Ridiculous.
Like that's just using society against itself.
Yeah,
makes me laugh.
We didn't talk about it yesterday, but a lot of people were mentioning it. Jim is supposed to stream Mr. Medicare at the
I mentioned that already.
Tomorrow.
Oh, do we have the exact time? Tomorrow it's what, 8 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Eastern?
It's Central, I think.
I thought he was doing 7 Central.
I don't know. Sure.
I know it's
somewhere
tomorrow.
In that neighborhood.
I thought it was tomorrow. I just don't know the exact time. But yeah, he mentioned it. He's raising money, guys. He needs it. So if you can help him, help him.
Yeah, because he had a heart attack apparently.
That's not what this one's for. His bones are breaking down. His spine is breaking down.
That's like horrifying.
3 of his vertebrae cracked.
Wow.
Luckily, none of the chips went into his spinal cord. Unfortunately, I know how to read those reports. Yeah, I know what the terminology meant. And so he had no protrusions that were causing a problem. It just, his spinal cord's breaking down. or his spine. His actual spine's breaking up.
That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah. So on top of everything else he's dealing with. Also, I should have mentioned this at the top of the show. I hope everybody that was in the path of that hurricane were okay. And I hate to be this guy, but I told you it wasn't going to hit it at 4. Made landfall at a 3, Jack. Made landfall at a 3.
Yeah, they're still trying to round it up.
Look, it was still horrible. I mean, the flooding and that shit was fucking awful. But
Oh yeah,
from the sounds of it, not very many injuries. And it hit a very rural area, so most of it, I mean, it's not like when it hits a major city. That doesn't make it okay for the people who live there. Please understand, I'm not downplaying what happened to them. But when you're looking at it from how much damage it actually did, got lucky, got very lucky. And now they're going to have to wait again until they can say that a Category 4 hit that part of Florida. They were so happy to be able to say that. It's never happened in history. Well, it still hasn't, so now y'all can shut the fuck up.
right.
But yeah, seriously, I do hope everybody that was in the path is okay. And they'd already restored power to a whole bunch of people. They're expecting that's not supposed to be a very lasting problem, which it can be during or after a major hurricane.
Yeah, they got everybody kind of ready to go for that because
Yep.
they had a bunch of linemen up in Georgia and South Carolina ready to roll down and start fixing stuff, clearing debris.
There was a tornado last week, I think it was, that went through Lansing. There were parts of Lansing without power for 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
That's just from one tornado. The fact that they're getting the power back for these guys that fast is fucking awesome. And seriously, yeah, I'm glad that this storm didn't hit at a Category 4 and that it didn't do more damage. Last I heard, it was on its way up towards, it had just passed South Carolina. It's slowing down. It's basically a tropical storm at this point. It's getting over the cooler waters of the Atlantic going up the coast. So it'll peter out.
Yeah.
And then we'll wait for the next one for them to tell us all about climate change again. Speaking of climate change, I saw something. This has to be climate change related, Jack. I can't believe it would be anything else.
I can't believe it's not climate change.
I can't believe it's not climate change. We should have that as a segment on the show.
Yeah.
So this happened today, and like I said, I'm pretty sure this is climate change related.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
He was asked what his thoughts are about running for re-election in 2026. We're at the 5-second mark. Here we go.
Could that go any louder?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was telling people what I said. I try to catch that, and some of these videos are just low. Luckily for us, Jack, the important part of this doesn't have sound. Is that too bad to joke about at this point?
Nah, it's fine.
All right. But yeah, I wish it would. This is why I wish I had better internet, Jack, because then we could use OBS and I could actually jack up the sound over there.
Yeah.
There's just nothing we can do about it here. Anyway, so he was asked, what does he think about re-election in 2026? And here we go. Here's his answer, you guys.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Any-
He finally right there says, I'm okay at the 36-second mark.
I think he had a stroke.
Something happened, and this is the second time we've seen a video like this.
In public. I mean,
in public.
I can't imagine how many times this has happened because, like, my mom does this where she kind of spaces out, staring off into space for 20, 30 seconds. And apparently it's fairly common with stroke victims. But there might be something else cognitively wrong with him. But it reminds me of how my mom reacts to stuff sometimes.
Lunatic says, bet he has cancer or something. Many people commented on how much weight he's lost.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've paid attention to Mitch McConnell. It does look like he's lost a lot of weight over like the last year.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean cancer. There's a lot of stuff that'll do that. He's a fucking old man. He's very old. But again, this had people going, we need to have age limit. No, we don't. But when something like this happens, we need to say, all right, we appreciate your service. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Go enjoy what's left of your golden years. You're way
Yep.
too old for the stress and shit anyway.
Get out. You've made your money in Congress. Go home. He's up for re-election in 2026. That's still 3 years making rules for you and I.
Yeah.
He can't even fucking speak.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Mitch the Lich, 810 years young.
Mitch the Glitch at this point.
Yeah, the Glitch Lich.
His brain just goes. And it happened the exact same way. And I mentioned the first time we watched this, it looks like a seizure.
It does. It might be.
It looks, I forget what they're called, not the grand mal, but there's the two kinds. The grand mal, which is the big one everybody sees on TV where they're twitching on the ground. And then there's these where it's just the brain goes bzz. And yeah, I would bet that that's a seizure. And he should not be there. Absent seizures, that was called? Okay. Or absent. All right. Thank you. Petite. I've heard it called the petite before. But yeah, it looks like a seizure if you've ever seen him before. And you say it looks like what happens with your mom. Something is clearly going wrong.
Yeah. We're seeing way too many of these politicians that have obvious medical problems. Feinstein, Biden, Fetterman, and now Turtle Boy. So look, just retire. Okay,
Yeah.
where's your family? Don't they love you? Because why is your family letting you go out there and not just embarrass yourself, but put yourself through this kind of physical duress?
Yes.
This is not helping. If he is having seizures of any kind, even micro seizures, there's obviously something wrong with him, and this is not helping by having him in office. Let him resign.
Yeah. And especially because it's not something that he's done his whole life. This is new. And it's getting worse.
Yeah. I hate to see this. Look, I don't like Mitch McConnell. I think he's a piece of shit. But I don't want to watch him become a spectacle for the media.
No. He should go home and just, like you said, live out your golden years, man.
Yeah.
Whether I like what you did or not, you did your service to the country by going into government, and go home. You did your job. Go home. I said this about Ginsburg. We've said it about Biden and all the ones you named. It's not political for me. And if we're being honest, the people that are going to replace them in most part are going to be their ideological equals at the very least.
Yeah, probably
possibly
some
even worse.
successor.
Yeah. And so it's not like one of the parties is going to lose a seat. No. Feinstein's seat is going to a fucking Democrat. It's California, for fuck's sake. McConnell's is going to a Republican. It's Missouri, for fuck's sake. You don't need it to hold on to what little power. You just get the fuck out. This makes us look horrible on the world stage.
It makes us look incredibly weak, too. It emboldens our enemies like Russia and China, and God knows who else, Mexican cartels, because they see
Ukraine.
how weak our politicians are.
Oh, yeah. And we need some kind of 25th for members of Congress, and I don't know if we have one or not. The one thing I did notice, Jack, is I didn't see a single article today telling me that, hey, people need to stop being mean to Mitch McConnell.
Well,
Not
yeah,
one.
'cause he's a right winger.
And I doubt I will see one either.
Oh, you know you're not going to.
How dare you say he's fine? What did they say
It's-
last time? He was dehydrated.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's got a stutter.
Oh, just a stutter. There it is. Yeah. Can we recall them? Only if you live in Missouri. And then there it's up to the state on what those laws are for recalls. I don't know what their mechanism is. But it's not something that can be done on the national scale. The Congress can come together and kick him out.
They're not going to, though.
They
I mean,
won't.
the Democrats would be all for it, but the Republicans aren't going to do it. They're a bunch of spineless cowards that won't even tell him to go home.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Missouri. He's from Kentucky. Thank you, Eagle. Okay, still Kentucky. It's going to be a Republican. Same with Fetterman. I mean, who's the governor up there?
I don't remember his name.
It's not Wolf anymore. It's fuck. I forget who replaced Wolf. But yeah, I mean, in most states, the governor gets to name the replacement for a while until they have a special election. Get these fucking obviously cognitive idiots out of my Congress.
Josh Shapiro.
Shapiro. Oh yeah, Shapiro. I should know that because I laughed because it made me think of Benny Boy.
Yeah.
I wondered if they were related or if his wife was a doctor.
Probably.
Anyhow, yeah, this is horrible. This is not something that should be going on. This is not something that should be happening. And it's not something that people should be okay with.
And it should be celebrated as like, look what he got. Haha, has come up. This is an old man.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything to him. Just tell him to bow out gracefully.
I'm not for term limits. I'm not for age limits, but I do think that, I mean, there comes a time like Grassley. I don't know if you've heard him speak. He speaks very slowly. He walks like he already died, but mentally he seems to be there. And that dude's older than dirt.
Yeah.
Fetterman is in his 30s, maybe 40s. I forget how old he is, and should be nowhere near any reins of power. None.
Yeah.
He shouldn't even be operating a toy train.
People age differently and people have different abilities. So look, it's time for Mitch to step down.
Yeah. All right, we've done some more depressing ones, Jack. How about a funny story?
Okay.
I did not have this even in my reign of thought.
Uh-oh.
I know people ask some weird questions and stuff. But there was do you know who Justin Wang is?
Justin Wang? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
He's
kind
a
of cut
YouTuber.
out a little bit there when you said
Oh, I'm
his
so
name.
sorry. He's a YouTuber and he's on Twitter quite prolifically. And somebody asked him a question today. And they asked him this: can you efficiently water cool a PC with cummies? All right, fair enough. He says, I don't think they'd be able to move fast enough to keep the temperature circulating right, but I'm not sure. Meta PCs, it's a company that makes PCs, custom PCs for people, and he's sponsored by them. Meta PCs, please weigh in. And they did, Jack. They actually weighed in and answered it as though it were a real question.
Oh, good for them.
I believe clogging would be an issue around the small fins on the blocks, as well as the heat produced causing it to thicken. Those are just a few issues that come to mind.
Yeah, it's more viscous than water, so.
The sheer amount would also be an issue, as most systems use around 1 liter of coolant, so you need quite a bit, between 202 and 808 donations to equal 1 liter. God bless them for taking that seriously. Wow.
Yeah, I would think the viscousness would be a problem, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a computer guy.
Thank you, Keldrick. It's time for Mitch to retire to a nice mossy log somewhere in a pond, basking in the sun, stealing earthworms and hooks from fishermen. Well, there you go.
Fact.
I like a company that has a good sense of humor, Jack.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure somebody would try it otherwise, so.
And this is kind of a bit of a spicy sense of humor there.
Yeah, they'll probably get in trouble for it later.
They actually commented on the effectiveness of using jizz as a computer coolant. Oh, what a world, Jack. I love this world sometimes.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship.
Oh, God bless whoever wrote that. And it's awesome because it is their real account and everything. Look, they work with Justin, so they're probably used to stuff like that. Justin covers a lot of weird topics.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about this one. This goes back to our beginnings of the show tonight, unfortunately. Secretary Miguel Cordona, he is the official account for the 12th Secretary of Education. He's our education secretary, Jack.
Oh.
Books teach our students tolerance. When we limit the books on our students' shelves, we limit their knowledge and perspective.
This is more ped shit, isn't it?
Well, that's what it's talking about. I'm going to leave this part small because I really don't know how much trouble we'll get into for having that on the screen. But Libs at TikTok said, periodic reminder that when they accuse us of banning books, they're referring to pornographic books that are offered to kids in schools across the country. For some reason, they never provide visuals. Why does the Secretary of Education want kids reading porn in schools? And this is something we've talked about, Jack. They never tell the truth about what's going on in these things. Like, they want to ban books. They want to take pornography out of schools is what they want to do. And we're not talking footloose pornography because they want to ban Slaughterhouse 5. We're talking about actual pornography.
Yeah, this is degenerate stuff. Stuff that any obscenity law would cover. It's gross. They keep fighting for these groomer handbooks, and I don't understand it. It's not age appropriate.
Books that they've now literally started turning off the mics when parents come up to school board meetings to read the books.
Yeah.
They've started cutting their mics because, hey, you can't read that here. You can't read that in this adult forum. That is for kids.
Only middle schoolers can read that.
Brent says Slaughterhouse 5 isn't pornographic. It's just odd. I just use that reference because in Footloose, that's one of the books that's mentioned. And then they go do their book burning, their actual book burning. Oh, God. So, yeah, I'm tired of these people. I'm fucking tired of them. They're liars. I mentioned I shouldn't get in an abortion debate. I was just in one at the beginning of the show because there's an argument going on where these people are trying to insist, Jack, that abortions, they don't happen for convenience. No. Abortions, they happen because people are homeless or they're food insecure.
They're food insecure.
Yeah.
Are they eating the babies?
No.
Oh.
They're paying several $100s to get it vacuumed out of them, which could have went to food.
Yeah, if they have a couple $100, maybe they shouldn't have had sex.
Or spent a couple of those dollars on some kind of contraceptive.
Yeah, they would have had a lot more money floating around instead of wasting it on baby murder.
Lunatic says, stop making me defend book burning. I'm not defending book burning, by the way. I'm not with people who have a big problem with public libraries. If this shit is in a public library, I mean, maybe you can push to get the person who curates your library removed, but just don't take your kid to that library. But in the public schools, I mean, that's the stuff that is specifically supposed to be age appropriate for them.
Well, these people know and they understand that at the public library, the parents have screening capabilities. They can say, that's not appropriate for you. You're not getting that book. They can't do that at the public schools because the public schools own your children now. And they will remind you of that and try and steal more of your parental rights away from you.
And in a public library, that's supposed to be access to all the books, at least all the ones they can afford. And I'm all right with that. Just as you said, monitor your children. There are rules for schools that these things have to be approved for these kids. So somebody's approved these books for children.
Yeah, it's usually the school board. And
if I've mentioned this one, bring penthouse letters in there, Jack. There's no actual pictures of pornography in a letters book. Believe me, I've read them. But they're absolutely pornographic.
I'm sorry, that's just not gay enough.
It's just reading. It's just reading. Why not put that in there?
It's just words.
Because it's not just about sex. You'll notice that these books are never about heterosexual sex. Ever.
What? Are you implying some sort of agenda, Monkey?
It is gay, it's lesbian, it's trans, and it's often pedophilic. You can't read that here. There's too many adults around. Take it to a 12-year-old. Wear a dress when you read it to them. These people are disgusting. And
like
this shit
gladiator
needs
movies.
to stop.
Unfortunately, it won't stop till parents say it stops. And that means they're going to have to get more involved with the school board meetings and get more involved in their kids' lives. And until that shit happens, you can see how threatened they felt in Loudoun County when they tried to get the fucking feds to charge these people as terrorists for saying we
Yeah.
don't like this.
Yep. There's no good reason for this stuff to be in schools, and it is absolutely 100% okay to ban books in schools. There's children in there
Yeah,
that have access to them. The books are specifically for those kids.
Yeah, you are simply screening what is age appropriate for the
Yes.
kids. You are not saying let's take every copy out and torch it, because people don't really do that anymore. Mostly because of lawsuits.
Yeah.
But
Did you see that lawsuit settlement from that school?
that narrowed it down.
Oh, you know this one. I forget where it's at, but some mom was suing a school for socially transitioning her daughter.
I did see this, yeah.
The school settled for $100,000.
Oh,
yeah. So mom wins that case, and I bet there's school boards all over the country that went, "Oh my, whoops, we might want to rein that shit in a little bit."
yeah, it's not their money. They don't give a
No,
shit.
well, eventually it does get to their money because they can get a pay cut too.
Yeah.
That's all. Hey, I'm shocked she got anything, to be honest with you. I'm fuck if this happened in certain places like in California, New York, some places in Florida, Austin, mom would have lost easily. Loudoun County.
It got thrown out of court because the judges are a bunch of lefty commies too.
Yep. And this one was in California. But again, certain places, it depends on where you're at. People forget that Northern California is red. A lot of Eastern California is red. It's the Southwest. It's all just fucking ugly blue. Fucking pedophile blue. That's what I'm going to start calling it. Pedophile blue is what California is. Am I wrong?
Blue sounds like a code name of a movie.
Pedo blue is the color of blue on the trans flag.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
It's pedo blue and pedo pink.
Pedo blue is coming for you.
I want to make that a thing because that's what it is, man. Okay. And I do want to talk about this one. I know you saw it because I saw your response. This lady in an argument about trans stuff, she says this. Proof of the first statement. We're not going to deal with that, but it goes on to say, I was a trans kid and never once doubted it. Not all trans kids become trans adults, and that is a-okay. Now, listen to this part. If you force a trans kid to be cis, it'll cause them more damage and will stop them being trans. That kind of jumped out at me, Jack.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. It's sort of like saying the quiet part out loud sort of thing.
If you stop a trans kid from acting trans, then they won't be trans.
It's almost like it's a fashion trend or something.
That sounds like a cure to me.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
They're not really trans then, are they? They don't have dysphoria. If you could just be like, stop it. And they're like, okay.
But you made a wonderful point in this.
That's because I'm pretty awesome.
Let me get this first. Thank you, Tyson. Should I point out that the actual color of the flag is baby blue? Like I said, pedo blue.
They like kids. So
anyway, Jack, you wanna say what you said?
No, you can read it. I'm fine.
I don't have it up on the screen.
I don't either. I don't remember what I said. That was like an hour ago.
Here's what you said. You said, also, are we suggesting to sterilize kids based on the possibility that they might stay trans? That's barbaric.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
That's absolutely barbaric. What the fuck are you talking? No, look, hey. A lot of them don't stay trans. But we should go ahead and give them the puberty blockers and the estrogen or the testosterone, whichever one's going to fuck with their body because their body does not want that in there and it actively fights against it. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to talk about that, are we?
Improve their chances of osteoporosis and a dozen diseases, increase their cancer risk, heart problems, and sterilization. Yeah, that's brilliant. Let's just on a whim, because little Billy
Hey.
played with a Barbie one time. You want to cut his dick off and sterilize him, or he might not be trans anymore.
They might stay trans. And if they don't, it's A-okay. Well, it's not A-okay because you just destroyed their fucking body, you fucking retard.
Yeah. It's amazing how many of these activists don't understand that puberty blockers will sterilize you.
Well, as I pointed out, I don't know if you were here for this. When we were talking, we watched that video the other day of the little boy whose mom dressed him like a girl and asked, "Hey, will you love me if I'm a boy?"
Yeah.
At the very beginning of that segment, they don't mention puberty blockers at all. What they said is they're weighing the estrogen shots because the estrogen shot will sterilize him.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even got to go all the way up to puberty blockers. Just shoving the wrong hormones into people will do this shit.
Yep.
Boys are not supposed to have massive amounts of estrogen in them. Girls not supposed to have massive amounts of testosterone. And the body absolutely fights it.
Yeah, because it's biologically determined that that's the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. It's not how your physiology is supposed to work.
But we don't talk about that because that's the science of hate. It's all settled science except for chromosomes.
The science of hate. Isn't that a bitch? I'm just trying to make sure I got everything in here. Blake Masters says he's going to run for the Arizona Senate seat that Sinema holds right now. And there's a lot of people cheering this. For those of you who don't know, Blake Masters ran for Mark Kelly's seat in 2022. Of all of the Republicans who ran for statewide office in 2022 in Arizona, he got his ass kicked the worst.
Yeah. I still put a lot of that at Mitch McConnell's feet because he pulled the funding from him.
This guy's independently wealthy.
Yeah, it's still.
He could have funded a whole lot of his own stuff. He's just not a very good candidate.
Yeah.
And look, yeah, it's Arizona. Shenanigans happen, sure. But he still got his ass kicked. There was no question about him losing to Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying he's a bad candidate, Jack. He's just a bad candidate for them. And I don't know if going against Sinema is going to be any better for him. I think Sinema can be beat, absolutely. She's come off as a little too fence city-y, which she thinks she has to do in Arizona. But what helps keep her elected is actually the Democrats. And she's pissed a lot of them off.
Yeah.
So maybe you could bring in somebody. I'm just not sure Blake Masters is the guy to do it. Especially with Carrie Lake considering a run as well. That'll be an interesting primary if she does.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
CNN being the dickbags that they are. This is the last one I have, Jack, and then we'll get to stuff you brought. President Joe Biden pledged support for Americans affected by Hurricane, I can't say that name, and Hawaii wildfires, while making clear he's ready to blame congressional Republicans if there isn't enough funding for the response to a confluence of natural disasters.
You know, he just sent $230 million over to Ukraine.
Yeah.
What? No, there's no money. What do you mean, Republicans? Well, stop giving it away to foreigners, you idiot.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump came out and said, hey, if we don't have enough money for this, it's those damn Democrats in Congress. Do you think CNN would be making it clear that he's ready to blame Democrats? Or Or would he say, Trump passing the blame onto Congress for his inability to act?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're cheering this guy passing the buck.
Oh yeah, that's what they do all the time. They always blame the Republicans, and the Republicans are like, "Yeah, we're dumb and bad. I
Yeah.
get it. I'm sorry."
You guys lose because you're losers.
Yep, because you're pussy little cowards.
Bubba Hotep says, and he said it while sitting on the beach saying no comment. Yeah, no shit. Hey, look, Biden, did you see Trump talking about that? When he was
Yeah.
talking to Tucker Carlson, he talked about Biden sitting on the beach and like, who let him sit on the beach? It's just a bad look. He just looks like an old white man out there, and he does.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah, that's the weirdest photo op I've seen in a long time.
They seem to do that a lot. They're very out of touch over.
They're trying to prove that he's just because Obama used to go to the beach a lot. Well, Obama was in his 40s?
Yeah, and from Hawaii. So
Joe Biden's like 84. I forget how old the fucker is. He's old as shit.
nobody wants to look at an old man with no shirt on.
Or in shorts. Old men legs are nasty.
Oh, he's got that leg hair that people like to rub, though.
It looks like a deformed chicken. Do you think Hawaii will flip red after this or not? Thank you, John Jones. Absolutely not.
No, they're
Absolutely
way too embedded. Some of them might stay home, but I doubt that. They'll just say, "Oh, we have to reelect him because obviously it was those Republicans' faults."
Yeah,
Hawaiians are fucking confused about reality.
Hawaii is like California. I mean, there was a time it just finally flipped blue and has stayed that way.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the problems that happen down there. They just blame it on somebody else and like, we'll fix it. Let's take more of your money and natural resources. Hawaii, though, they're in a very weird spot state-wise. Being as small as they are and the tourism industry that they have makes up for a lot of the other shit. Just the tax base that comes through there. You look at a state like Rhode Island, they have to rely on being a little more fiscally conservative because they don't have that kind of they might have a festival that brings in some money. Hawaii just has, Hawaii.
Yeah, Rhode Island. How many people are going to go visit Lovecraft's grave?
Yeah.
That's like their major attraction because that state is worthless otherwise. People forget it even exists.
So no, I don't think they're gonna flip. And you know what? To be honest, I'm not sure it would help anyway. Because let's be honest, Jack, a Republican from Hawaii is probably going to be a Democrat in most other states.
Yeah.
It's like Mitt Romney. He's a Republican. Yeah, by Massachusetts standards.
Yeah.
That's like, being a Republican based on Mao standards. I mean, it's a pretty low fucking bar.
Yeah.
Rhode Island should build a Colossus. I mean, Rhode Island should just move into another state and then we cut California in half so we still have 50 states. Just let them merge with something around them. They can pick. I don't want to, force them into anything.
Yeah,
but
we'll
all
just team
six
them up with another small state.
All 6 people that live there should just become part of some other state.
Yeah, we could call it Vermont Island or something.
Thank you, Frosted. If we put more soldiers on Maui, would it flip? Depends on where we put them. If we put them on all one side, maybe. We'd have to ask Congressman Johnson.
Yeah. He might be like, you can't flip that because the lava men will be there to counterweight it.
Yes, the lava keeps it from flipping over. Oh, fuck. What a world we live in, man.
Duh. Thanks, Hank, you idiot.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Portland school mulling banning zeros for cheating and not doing work. Fuck you. Equitable grading practices. Just your somewhat regular reminder that equity means communism. Don't let them lie to you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It is literally the idea of from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. That's how you get everybody equal. Then everybody's equality, equity. They drop the A. Equity.
Equity and inclusion. We got to lower standards so nobody has to actually try.
Everybody's on the same level. So like if you run really fast, you have to wear rocks on your back so that the fat guy can run as fast as you now. Equity. Students in Portland may soon be able to get away with cheating and not doing assignments if Portland Public School implements new equitable grading practices. If adopted, the new practices will bring various changes, such as new grading structures, not grading homework, not giving students failing grades for not completing work or cheating, and not grading for non-academic factors such as behavior, participation, and effort. All right. I will say this. I never liked the idea that grades were ever based on participation in class. A lot of kids are really good at their work. They do great on their tests and their homework and stuff. They just are too nervous to raise their hand and answer questions. And I don't think they should be punished for that.
No,
As a shy kid, I feel their pain.
Attendance and you're doing your work, like tests, homework, that sort of thing. That's really what matters.
But the idea that you're going to just allow them to cheat is what you're telling me? Hey, cheating's fine. Just ask Pearly things.
Yeah.
Not giving a student a 0 when his or her work earned such a low mark actually harms the child. What? What? Not giving a student a 0. Oh, this is somebody who's arguing against it. Okay. I was like, that doesn't make sense with what we just read. Yeah, it does harm the child because they're not learning anything. Anyway, Jonathan Butcher, an education fellow at the Heritage Foundation, told Fox News, "You hurt a student when you pass them from one grade to another without asking that student to show that they can complete the work he or she is assigned." Yes, 100%. Now, I will say this. A lot of my teachers gave homework just to give homework. And I don't believe in that. Like we had math teachers. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You could base your percentages on however many assignments you give out. You don't have to force it.
We had math teachers that would give us 50 problems a night.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
No kids got time to do that.
And there's no reason for it. 10, fine. I would even have been all right with 20. 50. I fucking hated that bitch. By the way, I didn't do my homework very much in that class.
Yeah, why would you? You don't have time to do that. When you go to sleep, you got all your other homework to do.
I still passed all my tests with A's because I knew the work. That's 250 problems a week because the bitch gave it to us on Fridays too. Oh, I hated that fucking woman. I could
see giving you 25 over the weekend or something, but it's ridiculous.
I hated her. Can I say that one more time? I hated her.
So you were in love with her.
That was my 4th grade teacher, man. I fucking hated her. Our classes in 4th grade, they were getting us ready for middle school. So we didn't stay in one class all day. We had an AM and a PM class. And the AM was math and science, and then PM was history and English. History and English, oh, I fucking loved her. She was the nicest lady. She would joke with us. She loved me because why wouldn't you? The other teacher loved me too. I just hated her because she was, that's just mean. It's just mean. Anyway, the initiative springs from grading practices implemented by some of the district schools during COVID-19 that accommodated for inequalities, in access to curriculum and instruction. The handout says the initiative's goal is to standardize practices district-wide Why not go back to the normal practices then?
Why, when we could make it more commie and lower the standard at the same time? Because I mean, teachers, they got a lot to do with all the bitching and molesting they seem to be doing.
An initiative. Sorry, the handout says the initiative's goal is to standardize practices district-wide after the non-unified implementation led to a mosaic of grading practices across schools and across the district that is confusing to students and families. How would it be? All right, stop. Jack, in Virginia Beach, when I went there, there were 5 high schools. Do you know how much I know about the grading practices of the other 4 high schools?
Probably next to nothing.
Not a goddamn thing. I didn't go there. How the fuck would that be confusing to me what they were doing? What the fuck are you talking? Yeah, those kids, they're confused by what's happening over at PS 32. Have they ever been there? Nah. Why the
But they
fuck
know
would
something's weird.
Yeah, those kids, they're saying they don't have to do homework. They're saying they're allowed to cheat. Given the dismal scores in reading and math on the national comparison after the pandemic, it is sad that the school district would exercise a soft bigotry of low expectations, Butcher said. Yeah, 100%. Speaking of lowered expectations, guys, hit that like button. Hit the share button. Hit all the buttons. Oh, and donate. God, I was like, what the hell else am I supposed to say here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like, share, subscribe. If you're feeling generous and can afford to, please consider giving us a couple bucks to help keep us going. Links are floating around in the description, sometimes in the chat, etc. There's also our Teespring stores and Patreon links in the descriptions as well. Thank you, Nuts, for dropping links.
JB
And
says,
thank you,
clip that.
Rebel.
I am honestly shocked that there's not more clips of me when I go to do a shill because I fuck them up constantly. Just if you guys can, please drop a tip in the hat. And if not, don't worry about it. We appreciate you guys just being here. But please hit the like button. You suck at shilling. I really do. Where are we? The handout draws its framework from Joe Feldman's book, Grading for Equity.
Ugh.
Let me guess. This is some fucking college professor.
Or a racial justice advocate.
Let's see. Who the fuck is Joe Feldman? Joe Feldman has worked in education at the local and national levels for 20 years, both in charter and districts. Oh, so he's just a regular school teacher who wrote a book.
Oh.
One of the most important responsibilities of teachers with major implications for students' academic and life trajectories is, ironically, also among the most enigmatic and frequently avoided topics in education. Although most teachers sense that common grading practices are often ineffective, there's limited understanding of how those practices can undermine effective teaching and harm students, particularly those historically underserved. Hey, these kids aren't doing well. What we need to do to make them, I should put that one on screen so you guys can read this stupid shit with me. What we need to do is make it so they're dumb. That's how we get them on an equal playing field. Make them really stupid.
We got to bring everybody else down to their level so they feel better about themselves. Fucking ridiculous.
What you should be doing is implementing harder standards on these kids.
Yeah,
that's how you get them. That's how you get them better off. Teaching them.
You should try and actually get them to learn. And if there's a problem where they're not learning, maybe you should examine why they're not learning. Is it the teachers? Is it some outside thing? Usually it's the parents not wanting them to do anything. Maybe they're getting too molested by the teachers to actually learn anything. Maybe they just have substandard stuff in the schools, outdated books, that sort of thing. You could work on funding that instead of let's just lower the bar.
Listen to this shit. The handout draws its framework from Joe Feldman's book, Grading for Equity, including guidance such as not giving students zeros, adopting a 0 to 4 scale instead of the traditional 0 to 100. So the most questions you can ever ask on a test is 4?
You can ask 100 questions. They're just worth 4 points total.
They're worth less points total. Each one is only worth a quarter of a point.
Yeah, you can still have 100 questions. It's
Oh,
all done
fuck
by
that.
percentages. It's easy to figure that out for grading purposes. There's a formula for it.
I have a feeling that you are being a lot more intelligent than this man is.
I don't think that's really difficult. I'm pretty sure Rico's more intelligent than this guy. But this is stupid shit.
Wait,
This is
we're not done.
nonsense. I know.
Giving greater weight to recent performances. So if you did good on the last test, we'll bump this test up. Not including group work for grades. I'm not entirely opposed to that.
Yeah, group work is stupid.
Allowing retakes, developing rubrics, and more. Under the framework, grades should be based on valid evidence and knowledge, not on evidence that is likely to be influenced by a teacher's implicit bias or reflect a student's environment.
Well, that means a bunch of nothing.
Can he read? Can he write?
Your implicit bias is showing, monkey.
Can he add 2 + 2 and get the right answer? I don't care if he got the right answer on the last fucking test. That has nothing to do with this test. That doesn't show knowledge, you dumb fuck. If they can't do it, they can't do it.
But isn't trying just good enough?
No.
I mean, he showed up for class. Little Billy's trying.
We're talking about actual participation awards for schoolwork.
Yep.
Jesus. Oh my God. The bias residence practices its list to be implemented, including using summative assessments, not grading homework or including it as part of a final grade, not penalizing late work, not offering extra credit, excluding attendance, effort, attitude, and behavior in grade calculations, and providing alternative consequences for cheating rather than assigning zeros.
Alternative consequences. You have to go in the closet with Mrs. Johnson. You naughty boy, you.
Right? Jesus Christ almighty. Put on the dress, Billy. You got the question wrong.
Yeah, we're going to cut your wiener off.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to cut your wiener and then we're going to play a game. Don't tell mom. Oh, fuck off, man. You're just going to make these kids stupid. That's all you're doing. You're dumbing it down.
Yeah, they're absolutely dumbing it down. But we've been dumbing down the education system in the U.S. for 30 years now. This is not anything new. It's just they're being way more open about it because they think kids are stupid. This is the lowered expectations.
I do wonder because, every so often you'll see the thing go around on the internet like, this is a test from public school back in 1950. Could you pass it? I wonder if kids today could pass the test you and I took.
I highly doubt it.
With and again, with the same grading.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. It was even that stuff was pretty easy by the standards of the day.
Sure.
But some of those tests were way harder than anything they're doing now. Now it's basically you're getting points for writing your name down. It's really pathetic.
I'm not bragging here. Please understand I'm not bragging. I'm just giving an example. My older brother and I didn't have to try in school. For me, it's because, believe it or not, guys, I had a great memory. If the teacher told me something, I remembered it. It's on the test. Oh, I know that answer. I had a lot harder time in classes where we had to read it ourselves because I had trouble if I was reading it myself retaining it. I would have to actually read it out loud so that my ear heard it and then I would retain it. My little brother, on the other hand, worked his ass off. He was diligent and he was a C student. Is that fair? No. But they didn't go, hey, look, your older brothers, they pass with no problem. So you know what? Fuck it. We're going to pass you too with an A. We're going to lie to you about how well you're doing. He still passed. He got the work. And that's back when a C was what, 85 and less, I think.
Uh,
85, 82 to 85. So, I
something
mean,
like that.
different, everybody's different, and everybody even learns a little different, Jack. But you can't just get rid of standards like this. And that's what they're doing. Don't let them tell you, oh, they're changing the standard. No. You're just getting rid of standards. Getting rid of them. Being like, fuck that. That doesn't count anymore. Using your thing, right, Jack? Going to the 0 and 4. Let's say that each one of those is actually worth 0.25. That means in order to, you can miss what? 25 questions in a 100-question test and still get a B.
Yep.
75% and get a B, because that would be a 3. That's fucking retarded.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man, 75 was barely passing when I went to school. There were a couple of classes that I didn't like when I got into, the high school years, Jack, where I had a lot of 70s on my grades, and I was like, whoo, thank God. Should have come to class for that one. Shit. Mostly in history, Jack, because history is not one of those things you can just fake.
Yeah, it's hard facts.
If you're taking a test, and again, this might just because the way my brain works, you can take a lot of clues from what's going on if you know math, if you know science, if you know English, to get a decent enough answer to pass your test. History, you better know what happened. You can't be just like, what river did Washington cross? The Mississippi.
Close enough. It's on the right continent.
I know Mississippi's a river. No, you better know which one it is. It's amazing how many people don't know which river that is.
I don't know why. It's literally named after a state.
Well, because a lot of people think he crossed the Potomac instead of the Delaware.
They can remember the word Potomac, but not the state of Delaware.
Yeah.
That I refuse to accept that. That's enraging.
No, I actually had a conversation with somebody very recently about that very thing.
Oh, God.
A lot of people get the river wrong. They know he crossed somewhere. No, it's the Delaware, guys. Anyway, moving along. There's your history lesson for the evening. We did the Gadsden flag last night, so
yeah, we're educational.
We really are. Educational, funny. I have a pretty penis. I haven't mentioned that in a long time. Oh, I do want to address this before we go on to the next story, Jack. Somebody in the comments yesterday, I'm not calling anybody out. They said, I love the show. I'm paraphrasing. I love the show. You're awesome. I think you're a hunk. You'd probably slay the puss. But I come here for the song at night. What the hell was that song last night? I was like, oh, I sang for you. I put my heart and soul into that row, row, row your boat rendition.
Did you?
I did. And it stung me to read that people did not like that. I was hurt.
Were you? Because it's pretty hard to hurt your ego.
Shh. I'm doing a bit.
Apparently. I knew that the second you were like, I'm stunned.
Yeah, no. Look, not all the songs are going to be great, guys. Hell, most of them suck. And sometimes they're just lazy. And last night's was just lazy. Jack, I told these guys at the beginning, I have felt off for days. And I've just been trying to push through it without whining about it. And I feel much better today. But by the end of last night, I was like, I was so happy when I got off stream and it's fucking storming here. I was like, oh, the satellite's not going to work. I don't have to do anything else. And so, yeah, I just went and laid back in bed where I stayed until my doctor's appointment. I got out of bed at 2:30 today. I didn't sleep much, but I was in bed the whole time. Anyway, so I didn't talk about Monk's penis, so it was just average. My penis and the word average belong in every sentence together.
Well, you see, row, row, row your boat is a euphemism for somebody giving Monkey a handy.
Nut, 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 your woman. Anyway, that was a much better song than last night. We have another story, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You would know because you're the one who sent it.
Yeah.
Melbourne man jailed for raping masked intruder in home. Wow.
It gets worse.
Oh, that's just from the way it's saved. Sorry about that. Trigger warning. This article contains description of sexual assault. Well, we started that one with a kid, so why not?
Yeah.
Is CNN going to excuse this one?
Probably. Although this is 7 News out of Australia.
I watched an Australian comedian the other day say the word Melbourne, and they said Melbourne. And I really want to know what the fuck letters you Aussies see when you read that word.
Do they
My
see letters?
My eyes are fucked up, and I can read Melbourne there.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck?
I got
how
nothing.
drunk are you? How drunk are you?
On the scale of 1 to koala, how drunk are you?
Stop fighting kangaroos. They will kick your ass. And then you won't be able to read the word Melbourne. Anyway. A Melbourne man who overpowered and raped an intruder will spend at least 4 years in prison. Clay Holland, 32, faced the Supreme Court of Victoria on Tuesday when he was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment with a non-parole period of 4 years and 10 months. Holland's victim, Shane Cox, had broken into the unit in Melton in Melbourne's I don't care where, armed with a knife and wearing a mask when he asked for money and drugs. Cox, 36, who was high on methamphetamine. This is like an episode of Cops.
It's just a weird. So the movie version of this is going to be crazy.
The movie version will turn into a love story.
They'll race swap everyone too.
Cox, 36, was high on methamphetamines, was overpowered by Holland, who was a guest at his home. Cox was beaten with a baseball bat and incapacitated on the floor, where Holland then raped him. He was found dead at the scene. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
He killed him too? Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, he beat him with a baseball bat till he died.
Why is he only going to jail for rape?
Dude. Because the guy was an intruder, I think is why.
Look, I'm okay with putting him in jail for rape, but of the two, murdering the guy seems like the bigger crime here.
Oh, no, that's Castle Doctrine. Or I think they call it Rue Doctrine down there. Brokeback cul-de-sac.
Oh my God. He was found dead at the scene under a pile of blankets a day later by police who arrived at the property on an unrelated matter. Oh my, you're showing up there to like serve a bench warrant and like, wait a minute. Is that a dead raped guy under the clothes over there?
Is that man wearing no pants? Is that a hand? What is that?
Tyshawn, thank you so much. I like you and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. The choice is yours. This sounds straight out of a trailer park. A March jury convicted Holland of one charge of rape, but he was found not guilty of manslaughter. Justice Christopher Beale described Holland's offending as premeditated and particularly he premeditated the rape of somebody who broke into his house.
Maybe he said, if anybody breaks in, I'm gonna fuck him in the ass.
Instead of one of those warnings, that you're protected by Brinks or whatever. It's like, warning, intruders will be raped. Instead of beware the dog, beware the cock.
Yeah. This is why you don't break into people's houses. They might rape you after they beat you with a bat.
Your rape of Mr. Cox, his name is Mr. Cox. That's
on the nose.
Was a callous, degrading, and humiliating act of retribution. Holland's mental impairment, time in prison during the pandemic, and separating from his 3 young children was all taken into consideration for sentencing. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't mean to laugh. This is fucking horrible.
It's really fucked up. They found the body with the pants down just under his butt cheeks too, because the pants were around his thighs.
Yeah,
so, it was immediate.
I guess the question becomes: was he dead at the time?
That was a little unclear. Some people
asked about that
in chat. I think he was in the process of dying while getting plowed in the ass by this guy. So yeah, I don't know. The burglar rolled a natural one. I think it went beyond that. This is some like Final Destination curse shit. You
Yeah,
pissed off some like witches.
that die just fell off the table and nobody could find it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like you rolled several ones on that one. And then you got one in your pooter.
Yeah, it's fucked up that the guy's dead and all. Look, you broke into somebody's house, so them beating you with a baseball bat, I'm kind of on their side on that. When it got to the rape, I mean, is this a Tarantino movie?
Yeah, it seemed a bit overkill. I guess this guy had some mental issues, they say. I don't think so. I think he just wanted to fuck an intruder in the ass.
Maybe they found journals where he wanted to, ass rape an intruder. Like he was writing fan fiction.
Dear Penthouse Forum. Jeez. Yeah, what a messed up story.
That's a horrible story. We should not be laughing at that, but I can't help it.
I mean, there's not a lot of good guys here.
No.
I mean,
and I got to be honest. I feel like you can't say it's premeditated when somebody broke into your house and you're high on meth.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he shouldn't go to prison for rape. I'm just saying it's not premeditated. It was just rape. It was in the moment rape.
Yeah, that seems a bit more improv, a little less premeditated.
Comrade Kitty says, if this didn't say Australia, I'd have figured this was Florida Man. This is not a Florida Man story. This is a deep bayou Louisiana story, or a West Virginia story, or a Alabama story, or even a Georgia story. That's where Deliverance was set.
Yeah.
Look, there's a whole lot of male rape states here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Be careful where you go. Male rape in the U.S. is a problem. Yeah, that shit needs to stop. Stop putting your wieners in people who don't want it. Male, female, whatever. Just stop. Stop. Please. Anyway, and that goes for prisons too, man. We make the jokes about, you can get ass pounded, but that shit shouldn't be happening in prison either. The people who do that in prison should end up... I'm for crucifixion, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's still rapists.
Yeah. If two guys in prison want to hump, I don't care. But if one of them doesn't want to hump, then the other guy should be crucified. I'm okay with it. Now, I do make an exception for molesters. Anyhow, let's move along to our next one. I'm kind of okay with kitty diddlers getting treated like absolute horrible shit in prison.
They're not real humans.
They're not people. No, they're basically, scum. There's no other good way to put that.
Yeah.
It is what they is. Okay. Oh, do you have the story about New York? I see this one about Biden, but do you have the one about the New York legislatures getting together to try to deal with the immigrant crisis?
Oh, I didn't put that in the queue.
But you did see it,
I was trying to
yeah?
keep it fewer. I did see it, yeah.
No, and that's fine. I was just making sure you saw it because I just find that hilarious. Like, hey, assholes,
so dumb.
You wanted to be the sanctuary.
Yeah, they brought this on themselves.
Yeah, you wanted to preach to Texas and Florida and Nevada and New Mexico and California about how they should be taking all this shit. Now that you're having to do, oh my God, what the hell are we going to do with all these people? Good question, ain't it, fucknut? You guys aren't so tolerant now. You don't see them with the welcome wagons now, Jack.
Yeah, one of them had the balls to say it's time for another state to carry this burden.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like Texas or Arizona or New Mexico or California? Fuck you, idiots.
All these people already did. And oh my God, can you believe it's this bad? People have been telling you it's that bad, you dumb fuck. And you were out there going, we're a sanctuary. We believe there's no such thing as an illegal. Fuck
no person could be illegal.
Fuck you. They're now New Yorkers. Deal with it. But they never get to vote. Sorry. Biden offers airport in Atlantic City on Canadian border to house New York City immigrants, illegal immigrants. If you're not going to call them aliens, illegal immigrants. That's what they are. They're not migrants. They're not still migrating. They're not going anywhere else. They're not Plains Indians who move around because the weather gets cold.
You don't know that, Monkey. These are beautiful, beautiful future Americans. They are paperless Americans. How dare you? How dare you say such things about these noble, glorious people coming to save our country?
We have legit migrants in this country, agricultural migrants. They move around the country to different picking seasons that are here in the country legally. They come up here for cherry season. I've mentioned them before. They spend a lot of time in California, a lot of time Georgia. Every state has its own crop. So those are migrants. Those are legit people who are migrating to, keep things going.
Yeah, but they only stay for the season and then they go home.
Yeah, then they go do their shit elsewhere.
Yeah. No, these are asylum seekers, Monkey.
Bullshit.
They need our free stuff.
Migrants wait outside the Roosevelt Hotel, which has been made into a reception center, as they try to secure temporary housing in New York on July 31st. We don't actually get to see the picture. This is over on the archive site. Fuck them. The Biden administration has some suggestions for where New York City can house some of these 60,000. 60,000, that must suck.
How about Ecuador? That seems like a good place to send them.
Asylum seekers who recently arrived, a remote facility closer to Montreal than Manhattan, a tax office on Long Island, and Atlantic City International Airport. On the runway? That seems mean.
I don't see a problem
here. The sites, I mean, that's shipping them off to New Jersey, though, isn't it? Atlantic City's New Jersey.
Yep.
All right. Sites are on a list of 11 federally owned facilities that U.S. Department of Homeland Security officials sent to Mayor Eric Adams this week as possible locations to house migrants, according to a person with knowledge of the discussions who asked not to be identified. Most of the sites are outside the city, including Stewart International Airport, a small Hudson Valley facility frequently used by private jet owners. Of course, get them rich people.
Yeah, got to hit them in the pocketbook there because they're not paying their fair share.
Can't move them to Martha's Vineyard. No. How dare you?
We're not going to reopen Ellis Island anytime soon.
How dare you sullen our gold streets with your unwashed masses, who, by the way, are just the most special people who should be here. Just not here. They're here. They should be there here.
Yeah, they should be here, but doing like our gardening and then going home to whatever flop house they live in.
The Atlantic City location is even in another state, New Jersey. Yeah, I already called that. One recommended site, Messena International Airport, is 365 miles from the city in remote St. Lawrence County on the New York-Canadian border. It serves as a U.S. custom port of entry for Canada. They're going to ship them all the way up to Montreal. That's wonderful.
I hope they keep on going north.
A spokesman, no, man. They're migrants who stop migrating when they get to New York. Weird how that happens.
Yeah, it's kind of kooky.
Spokesman for DHS didn't immediately respond to a request. Spokesperson for New York Governor Kathy Hochul's office referred to a statement Hochul made last week. We cannot and will not force other parts of our state to shelter migrants. There's no room in New York City, bitch.
We're going to dump them in Jersey.
There's barely enough room for the people of New York in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, you're starting to create competition for the giant rats and alligators that live there.
We cannot and will not force other parts of our state to shelter migrants, nor are we going to be asking these migrants to move to other parts of the state against their will.
Oh, we're going to ship them to New Jersey.
Look, man, send them home.
Yeah.
Like you said, Ecuador. There's other places.
El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala. Yeah.
Chile, Brazil,
Peru.
tons of places. Peru.
Yeah, there's
Go
lots of
hang out
jungle
with the
down there.
gerbils.
We could drop them on some ruins and be like, look, you're Aztecs now. Have
There you
fun.
go.
Uh,
Go
ru-
home.
yeah, there's no more free shit. You have to cut off the free stuff to them. Say you have nothing. I'm sorry, that's your fault. And you have to start going after the people that are giving them jobs. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only way this shit's gonna end. Either that or beat them and round them up and ship them home with a beating. Thank you, KS1X. The only poor people I want to hear about are the ones who tend to my pores. Oh, that's true. You do need to exfoliate occasionally. No, that's this crap. They're making our poor people more poor or poorer, as the grammar
No.
Nazis would say.
No,
'Cause
what makes our people poorer is that Elon Musk has so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's so enraging. They'll dance around the topic and never ever address the actual problem.
I have an idea. It can help with the national debt too, because I don't know if you saw how out of fucking control that is. Our interest on the debt is just about to hit $1 trillion. Beautiful. Well done, guys. So here's what we do. Remember when circuses would have the guy you'd shoot out of a cannon?
Yeah.
We do that towards the Mexican border, and we load the people in, and people can pay to watch it.
Dress them like carnies, and away we go.
And we can have like betting on where they'll land.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course sports books are going to be involved in this.
And do it like this. Have it's almost like horse racing where you can get like a trifecta and stuff. You bet on which cannon is gonna be the best, which one's gonna shoot the farthest, and you get a bonus on your bet if it hits the person that landed before them.
Yeah, but you'd have to have quadruple if instead of hitting the person that landed before them, they hit another illegal trying to sneak over the border.
Oh, that would be have them at different heights at different times. You could do them holiday themed.
Oh yeah.
At Halloween, you shoot them through a ghost mask or something. Make them wear a ghost mask. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you could dress them like Santa Claus for Christmas.
Yeah, put a little red nose on them. It'd be great. I'd watch that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might even bet. I mean, it depends. I'd have to watch the cannons for a little bit, and you never bet on the one that put the fatter guy in there. You don't. That's not going to go very far.
Yeah,
you bet on the one that's kind of stuck. You don't want a kid because kids they don't have the weight to travel very far.
But you could do a bunch of them at once, like a blunderbuss.
Yeah. Just take 6 of them in a cannon.
You could have like little sports cards made up of all the guys working on the cannon. The team. And you could be like, look, he's been really good this year. He got traded to Cannon 4 last week. I think he's going to do really well there.
Caswan, thank you. This is awful. I'm here for it. How can I help? We just got to make it happen. We have to.
I don't ever make the claim that we're good people.
No. And look, we don't want anybody to get hurt because in those things in circuses, they never got hurt.
That's true. Cartoons never lie to me.
Yeah, and that's why I propose we've made the joke about trebuchets, but that would hurt them. We just load them into a cannon and fire them.
Well, what if we put them in the trebuchet packed in pillows? We'll give them some My Pillows because they're relatively cheap. Pat them up and then shoot them over, and then they can bounce a little bit, and then you get like.
I think the betting would be harder on that. Plus, it takes longer to load.
Oh, that's true. But
with the cannon, you just got to crank it back real fast.
I think it's nice to have options.
You could also do it. I mean, with some of them who are, let's say, have criminal records, they go in the cannon head first.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a given.
That's just to help them land on their feet. I mean, that's physics.
Yeah, that's science. Yeah,
I'm trying to be helpful, and what they need is to land on their feet. That's why I keep it. They need a leg up, They need a helping hand. So we'll help them land on their feet. Fire them head first. Anyway, how the fuck did we get onto that?
I don't know.
Getting rid of illegals. We could just kick them all out, which is what we should have done a long time before you and I were ever invested in politics, Jack.
Oh, I know. This has been a problem for 40, 50 years, and they're not doing anything to really fix it.
And Reagan made a big mistake with the amnesty bullshit because all that, this will be the only amnesty. And all they heard is, oh, we're going to have more amnesty?
Yeah. That's what's been.
Yep. And you have people pushing for it now. They have been for quite a while. Montgomery students can't opt out of LGBTQ storybooks, judge says. In denying temporary injunction, a federal judge was not persuaded that certain reading infringes on the First Amendment rights of religious parents. A federal judge, why is there mandatory LGBTQ reading?
You know why.
Is there mandatory hetero reading?
All reading is mandatory hetero reading, monkey.
Mm.
The cishet normativity,
I mean,
something buzzword.
I guess technically speaking, the Scarlet Letter, which by the way is not a very good book, is hetero. Crucible's kind of
Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, the white guys. Well, no, because I mean Shakespeare technically used to be kind of tranny, the performances.
Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore though, because they weren't allowed to have women actors.
Yeah, only men could act. So Shakespeare would be all right. That's some. Go ahead and force Shakespeare on kids. I want to see that happen. I actually like Shakespeare. A federal judge Thursday denied a request to let Montgomery County parents pull their children out of the classroom when books with LGBTQ characters are read aloud. Several Muslim and Christian families sued Montgomery County Public Schools in May, saying the use of LGBTQ storybooks forces religious parents to either forego their beliefs or depart the public school system. Yes, true.
Yeah, let's force the Muslims to leave the education system in America. Good job.
They asked to allow their children to opt out of such readings before the school year begins August 28th, at least on a temporary basis, while litigation over a permanent exemption proceeds. I don't know what judge is overseeing this. It's probably the same one. But I would have to guess that they have to let these parents do this.
Yeah, it's because it is against their religion. I don't know. I don't think the judge ruled correctly. I think this is agenda driven.
Look at that, Judge Deborah. I'm not going on that rant again. A boardman of the U.S. District Court for Maryland in Greenbelt said in a 60-page. Didn't it say Montgomery? There's a Montgomery, Maryland?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I was waiting like, how the fuck did this happen in Alabama?
Yeah, I thought that at first too, but no, it's in the north.
Sorry.
Here.
Judge Debbie said that the parents failed to show that no opt-out policy would result in the indoctrination of their children or otherwise coerce the children to violate or change their religious beliefs. Are the children allowed to stand up during this and say that that is a holy sin and that anybody practicing it will burn in hell?
Nope.
Then that is a violation of their religious rights.
Hate back.
All right. With or without an opt-in right, the parents remain free to pursue their sacred obligation to instruct their children in their faiths, she wrote. Even if their children's exposure to religiously offensive ideas make the parents' effort less likely to succeed, that does not amount to the government-imposed burden on their religious exit. Bitch, have you read any Supreme Court decisions?
What's a constitution? This is when ideology trumps the Constitution, because this judge is a fucking idiot.
Everybody loves to say separation of church and state. Nobody actually likes to pay attention, even using that, which isn't what the Constitution says, but even using that the separation of church and state is the state not getting involved in the church either. They're like, the church can't get involved in the state. Yeah, it goes both ways.
But we
Congress shall make
don't
no
really
law.
recognize that anymore.
Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of a religion or the free exercise thereof. I don't even have to look that up, Jack. I know it quite well.
Yeah.
Or the free exercise thereof.
Unless you're a baker or a parent, or you're a student, or they don't like what you said, or you quoted the Bible.
Last year, the books in question were not mandatory in every class. They accompany a new English language arts curriculum as entries on the list of recommended reading teachers can draw from as they wish. The list contains titles including Love Violet, a story about a girl who develops a crush on her classmate and contemplates how to create a card for her for Valentine's Day, and My Rainbow, the tale of a mom who makes a colorful wig for her transgender daughter. Instead of a coat of many colors, it's a wig of many colors.
Yeah, it's not a perversion of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat story from the Bible. No, how could you say such things?
I was actually going to the Dolly Parton song.
Oh, I was going to the Bible.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of a similar theme there going on. Anyhow, Montgomery County school officials have said the books are age and developmentally appropriate. They disallowed parents to opt out of the books in March. What was the reason for disallowing them to opt out?
Because they're bigots. Duh.
Well, you can't indoctrinate them if people can opt out.
Yeah, you don't want some bigot religious person making decisions for a kid. Anything could happen. They might start developing independent thought, and that's unacceptable. You will be a drone.
Eric Baxter, an attorney representing the religious parents, said the decision was wrong on multiple levels, since courts have recognized that indirect pressure on parents or students to abandon their religious beliefs is sufficient to trigger the First Amendment. Ding, 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 ding. Seriously, guys, I can't name case on this one, but yeah, look this shit up. This is Supreme Court's been over this. He said the school board had admitted it is trying to disrupt students' understanding. It is trying to disrupt heteronormativity and cisnormativity. That should not be any part of a teaching curriculum at all.
No, it's totally antithetical to what our education system is supposed to be doing.
The most that should be is an optional college class.
Yeah.
Optional. Anyway, that judge is wrong, and if they rule the whole case that way, they will be overturned on appeal. If not, it'll go to the Supreme Court, who'll go, we've already said this, fucker, and shoot it down.
It's going to cost these people a lot of money and time, and by the time this is all said and done, their kids are probably going to be out of the classes. It's ridiculous that this judge is this much of an activist, but we're seeing more of this in the judicial system. It's honestly kind of frightening.
I haven't seen this. But did you see the other day, maybe a week ago now, maybe 2 weeks ago now, a streamer on Twitch got kicked off Twitch for accidentally posting her OnlyFans price list?
Oh, accidentally on purpose?
Accidentally, which included things like inserting a butt plug.
Huh.
Yeah, so she lost her Twitch channel over it.
That's surprising considering some of the raunchy shit that's on Twitch.
Oh, no, she could have put one in and talked about it, but you can't put that there's a price list for that up there. That'd be hoary.
Yeah, we're just pseudo whore it.
She had a booby flash and a vag flash. I forget what else she had on there. She had a whole fucking list, man. Like, I can't believe people pay for that. She wasn't even that attractive.
They usually aren't. She's probably not making a lot of money anyway.
Top heavy and way too much makeup.
Ugh.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah. And when I say top heavy, I just mean she had ridiculously large boobs, which I know you aren't a fan of, and neither am I.
Yeah, no.
I mean, she wasn't unattractive. I would just like, if you're gonna give money to somebody so that they'll do that shit. I mean, there's prettier girls out there.
Yeah, you could just, go on a date.
Fuck it, give it to me. I'll lie to you that I did it. Hell, I'm flashing my boobies right now. Nobody can see it, but I am topless.
Ew.
I'm always topless, Jack.
Yeah, nobody wants to know that.
It's part of my life. It's my truth, Jack.
And
Why are you trying to make me feel bad about my truth?
it's funny.
Just because my nipples are pointed at your avatar right now. And for the record, I'm moving them back and forth so they're actually pointing at you. That's right. My nipples are pointing at you. That is wrong. Let's move along. The hell was I just doing?
I don't know. I don't know. We went to a space.
Can y'all tell I'm feeling better?
This is not the nipple stream we want. No shit, Bubba.
Oh, real quick. Thank you for mentioning that, Cynic. Shout out to our boy P-Dog. He just had hip surgery.
Yeah. He's home recovering now.
Yep. He put out a video today. I didn't even realize he was having the surgery.
Yeah, he told us that in chat.
I miss stuff in chat, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah, hip replacement. Oh, that scar looks horrible because they stapled it. Oh
Yeah, that's gonna be there for a very long time.
It reminded me of my scar when I had my first surgery because they cut that piece of bone out of me. They didn't staple it, but they did like ridiculously large stitches. The one in my neck, you can barely tell I have a scar. That one looked like Frankenstein.
Whoa.
And I'm like, did the same people do this, or was this an intern today? Why this shit look like it was done with yarn? But yeah, he's survived the surgery, thank God, and he looks like he's in good spirits. He's sore as fuck.
Oh, I bet.
Ripping that muscle away, that's going to take time to heal. And good luck to you, brother. I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah, man, get well. Hope you're listening and not doing anything strenuous.
Stick with your exercises that they give you, with the rehab they give you. Don't overdo it. Let it heal. Marty's a good guy. I love that man, and I hope he's well. Really do.
Yeah, you got to give it time though. It's gonna take a long time. That's not gonna be a fast healing.
All right. Monkey's nipples led to P-Dog. No. Somebody in chat mentioned P-Dog.
Yeah, your nipples pointed at that one and was like, read that.
I think it was my subconscious going, hey, dummy, we forgot to talk about this at the top of the show. Anyhow. Yeah, Cynic's laughing because he's the one that said it. All right. I don't know what we're looking at here.
This is a lady unboxing a box of food.
Oh, all right.
She's a foreigner.
Ананасик. Моча.
Mocha.
Чипсы.
The Asian word for chips is chips?
She's not Asian. She's European.
Well, whatever language she's speaking. It's just chips. I fucking love that.
Chips.
Chips. Okay. Abaya. Chips. All right.
Чипсы.
Chips. She likes chips, man.
Yeah.
Конфетки с колой.
Some candy. What's this?
Are those condoms?
Желешка.
I love that face of like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I gotta get that off the screen quick.
I just thought that was a funny clip.
That is great. That is awesome.
You're gonna hate me for the Ralph retort one I've got now.
Oh dear. Oh fuck me. What the fuck is that? Hang on. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this without sound, which is gonna make it even weirder.
Is it?
Yeah, without the sound, yeah, I think it does make it a little bit weirder. I don't know what the hell this is. What does that say on his belly? 1M. Is that a music sign?
I think that's the OnlyFans symbol, isn't it?
Is it? I have no idea what that is. All right. There's music playing, guys. I'm sorry. 300 million views. All right, good for you.
I just hope that Jim plays this on his stream while he's talking about Ethan Ralph.
This guy has 300 million views, Jack. It makes me question my life.
Well, if you looked like a sideshow freak, maybe you could get that many views too.
I just hit some view milestone on my channel. Somebody told me about it. I forget what it was, but it wasn't 300 million.
Was that the TikTok symbol or the OnlyFans? I can't tell.
Maybe that's TikTok because it looks familiar. I mean, you don't have to do much to get views on TikTok. You just got to be weird.
Yeah. Now
One
we
M
know the
equals-
cause of the earthquake in California.
1 M equals 1 million. Yeah, I got that. I just wasn't sure what the other symbol on his ridiculously large belly there meant.
It's TikTok. Thank you, Labor Wolf.
TikTok. All right. Well, there you go, guys. You want to get famous, get fat, put printer ink all over yourself and dye your hair blue and dance like a retard.
Yeah, be a circus sideshow. And apparently you get a lot of views.
300 million views. There you go.
I don't know. Is he making any real money doing that? Because I mean, we're
depends.
laughing at it, but
Look, as far as I know, the only way you make money on TikTok is through like sponsorships and stuff, right?
I don't know.
I don't do they have a branded kind of thing over there, a partnership deal?
I don't know. We could ask the Tates. They know all about the TikTok.
TikTok. You're saying TikTok wrong. TikTok. Sorry about that. TikTok. Oh God.
Did you watch that video of the climate protesters in Europe?
I've seen so many. Which one?
No, it was a new one where they got run over.
No.
Oh, let me find it real quick because it's been making the rounds, and I meant to have you watch it the other day, but I kind of forgot about it.
Is this like the Mizzou guy who got hit by the college dean or president or whatever he was, and he stepped in front of the car and it barely touched his leg?
No, this is stupider because it's the Extinction Rebellion type guys that are the Just Stop Oil. While I find it here, here's a quick one that I know you probably haven't seen.
Why don't more of these people glue themselves with that really good epoxy?
Because they're stupid and lazy.
I will take up a donation for them to use the really good stuff as long as they promise to leave art and structures alone. Any cars or sidewalks and shit, even the side of a building, I'm okay with them gluing themselves to, as long as it's not, the Coliseum.
Yeah.
You wanna plant yourself on the IBM building? I don't give a shit. But you got to use the really good stuff. The stuff that doesn't come off unless they take a chunk of the building with it. And we pass a law that you cannot remove that stuff for these idiots.
I'm waiting for them to actually destroy one of these famous works of art because it's going to happen. These people are too fucking stupid.
Well, luckily so far, I mean, they're doing it to works of art that are shielded.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to fuck up.
Oh, sure.
Just stop canola oil. That was hilarious when they glued themselves to the cooking oil.
That was beautiful. Oh my, this does not look like a good thing. I don't know how guys, I hope the videos are coming through okay. Will you make sure all these get dropped
Yeah,
in?
I'm dropping the links in. Don't worry.
So there's a kid on a bike and there's a drawbridge opening. Let's see how he does. I feel like the Dukes of Hazzard theme should be playing.
No, because this guy's stupid.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in order for a drawbridge to open, there's a little gap that has to appear. You fucking idiot. Oh my God. That's the moment he realized he fucked up. Right there.
I can still make it. Oh no, I can't.
If you're gonna try that, you got to go straight on. You really do.
I watched this about 8 or 9 times in a row.
You have to go straight on, and you need to start pedaling like hell.
Yeah, preferably you want to have a good speed before you get to that point too, because you're going up an ever-growing incline.
Did he survive?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
I'm sure he's fine. This is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm sure somebody will have an article on it.
I hope he moved quickly because it looked like he was pretty fucked up. He hit his head when he went down like that.
I think
Dumbass.
nature hit his head before that, so.
All right. Stop dropping links, man. We got it.
No, this is the one I was telling you about. I said, why don't you watch this while I'm looking? And then you didn't watch it.
I did watch it. We just watched it. All right. We got one more for you. We got our stupid climate protesters. Please tell me one of them gets hurt. Look, YouTube, I'm not rooting for people to get hurt. I just really hope one of these guys gets hurt.
And
Keep
he goes
driving
down like a soccer player. I'd run him over.
Bro, that's a 4-wheel drive. Keep going. It'll make it.
Yeah.
Promise you.
Yeah, it's not like this is a real person. It's a climate protester.
I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because the cars seem to be getting loud real fast right here.
But literally right next to it. So
sorry,
watch
guys.
that silver car, though. That's our real hero.
I love when these idiots think they're going to stop the car.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little car like that, you probably have better odds because it is Europe, so those things are little tin cans.
All right, we're just going to turn that off. Yeah.
But even then, if this guy just hit the accelerator, those dumbasses would go flying because it's obviously wet out.
We're going to win.
You're going to work with me.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. In Soviet Russia, oil stop you. Damn right. See, you know what his problem is here?
Lack of commitment to the accelerator.
Yes, you just gotta, just like the kid on the bike, you have to commit.
Yeah. Yes, you have a tiny little car, you're probably gonna ding it up. But you'll be a legend forever. Sure, you'll probably be in jail. Not the point.
Ah, fuck those idiots. That's what they get for being in the street.
Stop blocking the road.
When we were kids, we were taught, hey, don't play in the street. You'll get run over by a car.
Yeah. Yeah, I blame Disney as well, AWC.
As you pointed out the other day, if your whole thing is, hey, you're making the planet bad with your oil, you're making them burn more oil by sitting there, you idiots.
Yeah.
You're actually making the problem you think is a problem worse. What you should be doing is finding ways to speed them up and get them to where they're going quicker. You should be showing up at scenes of accidents, asking if you can clean up glass. Fucking retards. But they're not smart people, so what do we expect?
Yeah. Eventually people are going to get sick of this crap, though.
Well, it looks like they are. And unlike the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa ones where they did this, they only have 5 or 6 people showing up at these things.
Yeah.
And don't gun it, y'all. But if you push into them, they will move. Or do what that one guy did where one of those idiots jumped on their hood and they took him for like 8 blocks at high speed. You remember that one? That was back during the Black Lives Matter one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some idiot jumped on the hood of the guy's car because the guy was going forward a little bit. So he just fucking gunned it.
Well, the problem with these protesters is you don't know what their intentions are. Yeah, they might be out there just to fight climate change or some bullshit, but you don't know how extremist they are or what they're willing to do to your car to slow you down. I mean, they're obviously not caring about their own safety. They're not going to care about yours either.
Dude, these guys are on the highway. You could take them 8 or 9 miles down before you needed to let them off.
Yeah.
Be like, hang on, we're going for a ride, motherfucker. You might want to jump. We're gonna play Back to the Future and see if I can get this bitch up to 88 miles per hour.
We're going back to the future.
Oh my God. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. Really do appreciate it. Going to be over on Ranting Monkey Games after this. Hang on. Yep, just hear crickets, no rain. Over on Ranting Monkey Games right after this, playing some Phasmo if Bubba's up for it. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll be doing Starfield. But again, guys, this weekend, I forgot to tell you about this, Jack. I have family over all the way through Sunday night. So I'm going to be trying to do the streams earlier, and I'm not positive about game streams for the weekend. So we'll see what happens with those. But tonight, Phasmo. It's time for Phasmo. We got to go get ghost hunting and get my levels up, damn it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. As always, thank you so much for the donations and all the support you guys give us. It is greatly appreciated. And we hope you're all doing well and have a sexy, sexy day.
Indeed. Ranting Monkey Games, come hang out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have yourselves a wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever it is for you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later. Oh, wait. P-Dog, get better, my friend. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
There we go. I had my nipples pointed at you. I shook my boobies too. It should have made you swoon, but you just laughed at me. Now I gotta go punch my dinghy.